We are Prodigy Agency. We represent and support the best esports players in the world. With our family spirit, we provide everything you need during difficult moments or epic ones. We work on every aspect of your journey, planning and managing your career to find the best teams toward one goal: victory. We negotiate your contracts and transfers. We find sponsors and commercial opportunities. We help you grow your own brand, cultivate your image, and developing your merch, social media, and content. We take care of your health and performances. And everything we do it for you. Your success is our goal. Prodigy Agency, players first. We are Prodigy Agency. We represent and support the best esports players in the world. With our family spirit, we provide everything you need during difficult moments or epic ones. We work on every aspect of your journey, planning and managing your career to find the best teams toward one goal: victory. We negotiate your contracts and transfers. We find sponsors and commercial opportunities. We help you grow your own brand, cultivate your image, and developing your merch, social media, and content. We take care of your health and performances. And everything we do it for you. Your success is our goal. Prodigy Agency, players first.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, wherever around the world you may be. And welcome back to the Prodigies. It's time for Playday 3 of ESCA Season 45 Advanced Division of the regular season. My name is Tudors, and alongside me, I've got none other than the absolutely glorious and gorgeous hunk that he is, AC. How are you doing, my man?
Well, my pitbull neck is ready to this breakneck action that is going to be the Prodigies playing for their third match here on ESEA Advanced, this time around against Team ESCA or ESCA. Let's go with ESCA from here on out.
Yeah.
And right now for the Season 45 of the ESEA Advanced, we are undefeated, but we are ready for yet another match. This is starting off with a bit of a twist, to be honest, because looking at the map right now, we can see that we're playing a third game on ESC Advance on a third different map. This is unprecedented.
Yeah, quite literally.
3 maps, and it's going to be DE Anubis, that Shield FNK, Keen Patrick, and Cree are going to be duking it out against Team ESCA.
Yeah, no, this one's going to be a real barn burner. Obviously, Anubis being one of the latest and greatest, technically the only latest map introduced into the map pool. And also, if I'm not mistaken, Valve have also just dropped the Anubis collection a little bit earlier today. I believe it was this morning.
What?
Some really amazing skins coming out of that one. I think it's got to be the M4A4. You've got to also check it out for yourself, buddy.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, you better start looking at it right now. But the Anubis collection is also entirely live as of today. And no better way to actually celebrate than going all the way down to Egypt for the best of one blowout that we have this evening. I'm really stoked for this one. Obviously, third game that we have within the season. Undefeated, as you mentioned so far. We did start off the season versus Typin on Inferno. It was a double overtime game, and things have since then gotten a little bit more interesting and a little bit easier. Last week we played on Mirage, as the knife round goes off in the background, well, I do believe that we'll have now the choice to either start off on the T or CT side.
We always win knife rounds.
Always.
There's
just no other way to do it.
Every single knife round that we've seen on stream, ever since I started to request them, we've won them all.
Yeah, that is true. So, as far as I can remember, Anubis at this current stage, it is still a relatively T-sided map. I'm not exactly sure about the pure stats coming on through out of it, but I believe it is in the, well, sort of lower to mid-50s for the T side, whereas the CT side is a little bit more disadvantaged, but it does depend as this map is still sort of going through that more feel-out period. It's only been with us for about 6 months at this point in the comp pool.
I believe so, something along those lines. We're talking about a map, like you said. It's a new map. People are still figuring out the nooks and crannies. Fact is, it's a map with a lot of potential entries. So that's why it would be a T-sided map, because it's so difficult as a CT to really cover all the bases of the map, especially because it's a new map and you just try to go for the more comfortable defenses, and you usually end up just conceding the bomb site in order to get a retake off of it, instead of just trying to go for a hardier defense. Big entry here coming in from Team ESCA.
Master will duke it out. Cree does retort with one of his own as the bomb goes down. Cree is going to get shut down. towards CT on top of that. So a 3v2 post plan is where we find ourselves in ESCA. Managed to barge into a relatively well-defended and well-staffed bomb site. I believe Prodigies had about like 3 anchors hunkering down, and they just got all obliterated and massacred. FNK now leading the charge. He will find one, so that prompts us into the 2v2. There isn't a kit in play, though. Actually, no, Shield has a kit, but they have to hurry up.
They do. Looking at a very, very dark situation. We gotta go for sneaky defuse. We can't quite get it. And Team ESCA clear out the map with the Prodigies, and they also get a plant. So they're going to go into a round 2 with a very, very healthy buy here.
Yeah, 100%. Also, I just looked up the numbers. You want to know what the win rate is on Anubis?
What is the win rate on Anubis?
So, according to HLTV, the current T-side win rate is 55.3%, with a 49.8% win rate during pistol rounds.
Okay, so T-side wins.
T-side wins more often than not. So, if ESCA are to walk away with 9,
honestly.
potentially, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised as well. But if ESCA are, for example, to walk away with like 9 or 10 rounds in this first half, that would just like to be expected. I wouldn't be expecting anything less of that, actually.
Big stack coming from the Prodigies as well. We can see it through the smoke. I don't think Klemeska actually has an idea of the triple stack coming around here. The corner as Klemeska goes in for the entry, gets headshotted by Shield and Patrick. Tandem grab them, or could potentially grab themselves a MAC-10 if they decide to go for it, but they conceded the B site completely, but now they have to go for the retake. No weapons were picked up during this time.
Nope. MAC-10 will be scavenged, however. They have a flashbang to boot as well. That could prompt them to go for an entry. Exist is just going to smack down Patrick over towards Bridge, and now Exist, well, he is being hunted down by a pack of dogs. There's King to claim him, but Bajmi down at range is going to continuously farm away with that Galil. And the one salvage Galil in the hands of Shield has actually gone. But what is this? FNK up and close on the bomb. Gets away with 1 frag with the USP, but will be traded off, though.
For an echo round, that was very, very impressive by the Prodigies. We had literally nothing to play with, only a couple of USPs and the classic P2, or actually not even Patrick. Patrick got the P2K for the USP as well. And we managed to nearly take down the whole team of, the whole squad of Team ESCA. Only Flay and Bajmi staying alive at just like 10 or 20 HP, give or take. So, still, very ish. But now, we have our first full buy on round 3, up on Shield. No spam whatsoever, no Kevlar as well on our hopper. Could be a dangerous scenario, but we already open up a huge frag here from the Prodigies.
Yeah, no, he has to play this very conservatively. As you said, he's completely naked, so a shot from that AK will just chew through him basically instantaneously. But I'm going to shut up because let's hear what the Prodigies have to say. Never mind, I am Cap.
You have been absolutely capped because I believe the Prodigies haven't got much to say this round.
No,
so it's our first big big buy round. Strategies being developed here. Wide peek here on Magister.
Yeah, that's a good one. Goes in for second, but yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate right over there. But Patrick, up close and personal, regains control of that bomb all to himself. Upgrades to an AK, dropping the A1S, and suddenly it's all down to Bajmi. All on his lonesome.
Because the AK is cheaper than the M4.
I mean, raw damage output.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good argument.
On top of the fact that the AK has that one-shot headshot potential, which the A1S does not. So
it does not.
Raw objective upgrade. Boom.
Headshot.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you for proving your own point. That was eye-opening.
So perfectly timed as well.
I know, right? It's like they knew what was going on. It's like we didn't get to hear their comms, but they heard ours.
They knew exactly what we were looking for.
Nah, yeah,
also,
for sure.
I do really want to commend Shield as well, because aside from him getting the entry right over there, the fact that he was able to keep his life in tow with absolutely no armor to his name whatsoever and still have the balls to go for those kinds of swings, big up on him.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's not an uncommon swing, to be honest. I guess at the same time, it kind of would be to have an opera that up close to the connector on A site.
Yeah.
So. But this is Shield, right? You were used to seeing Shield play the unpredictable role of the frontline opper. Because look at where he is now. Immediately, Team ESCA try to rush in, get a headshot through the smokes. The shield burns down with an op in hand, and we're down to 3 players who keep on burning up with the mollies on an anti-echo round.
That is a little bit rough coming on through. I mean, the A bomb site was completely deserted to begin with, and I think just the overall chaos that started to ensue, it was very, very unprecedented. And I mean, the Prodigies that kind of scrambled to come up with the response instead of taking their time and being patient, letting all of that util dissipate. They just kind of jumped the gun a little bit with trying to re-challenge ESCA, and they've paid a very costly price for doing so. Team ESCA once again get away with daylight robbery after only bringing in 2 rifles into that round.
So we managed to take home our first big buy round, and then we lose to the anti-eco from or the half buy in this case from Team ESCA.
Yeah.
Big plays here from Team ESCA, and once again capitalizing on the fact that this map has so many potential entries. The Prodigies don't really have a chance to pull out completely so they can retake the site. They're just getting caught off, completely caught off guard as Team ESCA just rush for the site and take home anybody that they can with them. I think that's been the case for some of the rounds here from the Prodigies. As we take a little bit too long to dissipate from the site and try to find new angles, because if we linger around, we get completely collapsed on.
Yeah.
You don't commit 5 players. Obviously, you don't commit 5 players to defend one single site. And usually, when you're attacking a site, you have all members coming in from several angles on that site. So faster communication should be prioritized here for the Prodigies, as we do go for another echo round. FNK buys a 2K and gets himself an MP9.
Yeah. That MP9 could very much come in handy, but I think they're actually just going to send it all the way down mid, and they're looking for stragglers. Still a couple of players lingering around that T side, and Team ESCA, well, they're more than happy to meet them halfway. Completely dismantling that rush up mid is going to leave Shield with nothing but a P250.
That P250, I mean, does he want to save it? I mean, he doesn't really have anything to go for.
I mean,
nothing to his name.
there's... I have 2 ways that I like to go about this kind of thought experiment, right? He's got a P250 in a 1v5 clutch or kiss scenario. Either he is going to die within the next couple of seconds, or he does Acadian.
Acadian.
Yeah.
I am very illiterate. I'm illiterate to the lingo.
You are not aware. I will, okay. I'll send you the clip after the broadcast, but Acadian was, he won ESL Pro League, I believe it was season 18.
Yes.
In the not the very last round of Mirage, but the scoreline was like 15 or 6 versus the new Cloud9 roster at the time. They were Team Gambit, and he had nothing but a P250, finds 1 kill, upgrades that P250 into an AWP, and then proceeds to close off the 1v3 clutch. It was magic watching it happen.
Darn it.
So whenever I see somebody in a 1vx with a P250, that's where my mind goes.
Even if it's a 1v1?
Then it kind of loses its impact a little bit.
Fair enough. I'll have
1v2 minimum.
I'll have to check out that Acadian play, because in the meantime, we do have big defense coming in from the Prodigies. I guess we have it lined up here on A side how we want to go around it. We already took down Magister. Got the kill on Bajmi as well, one of the top fraggers from Team ESCA. They're scrambling on the entry, but it's just a matter of really finding the right angles to counteract this entry.
Yeah, FNK is caught between a rock and a hard place. He's forced to duel, and that's exactly what Flay wanted. Right into his open arms, he swings, and that is the happiest and freest kill that Flay will pick up.
Oh my!
Oh, but the drop down coming out from Patrick. He upgrades to the AK, but narrowly gets away with the trade on top of that. Suddenly, it's all down to Cree. And if he moves quickly, he could find this frag down connector, but Klemeska was more than ready for it.
Oh man, the time that that fraction of a second that he took to upgrade to the AK immediately got him downgraded to the forever box onto the round 7. That was an unfortunate timing. Though, I do understand why he would want to do that. I don't think he expected more than 1 player to be hiding down on the catacombs over here. But still, Riverside, he goes, Klemeska finishes the round with an incredible turnaround. I guess, like, you wanted to give that turnaround because he had a compass of weight that he had to go for the Prodigies to really re-engage here. And once again, the Prodigies are on the back foot on the defense for Anubis. 1 and 5 on the board.
I mean, to be expected, the numbers don't necessarily lie when it comes to CT win rates right over here, sat at about 45%, excuse me. But yeah, it has been really, really rough. We have only seen 2 proper buy rounds come out of the Prodigies, only one of which was actually converted into a win. And now with some upgraded pistols, we're struggling to find any kind of magic. FNK legged all the way down to 17. That op is going to leave a mark in the morning.
Oh boy. The op is dangerous, and Flay is putting in good work with it on the offense. Very, very, he's very mobile with the op as well. He's not holding just one single angle. He's holding several angles as he cycles from A to B, always taking the high ground as well. So I think this is the first time we're seeing him take on the low ground. FNK does.
Oh, this is big.
Trigger discipline.
This is big.
Huge trigger discipline. He missed the second shot. And he gets turned around by Exist.
Man, could have easily gone away with a double, but Patrick is right there to clean it up as well, picking up the slack and cleaning up where FNK couldn't. But Master, he could be the saving grace for ESCA right here. Kree has found himself in AWP as the bomb goes down. Klemeska is going to be locking off that con side, and Patrick is looking for a way to barge on in. The flashbang is right on the money. The AK-47 has been found, but can the lineup come through? No. Patrick whiffs out, but Kree is still here to rectify the situation, and he's got to do it in a hurry because that clock doth tick, and he's got no kit.
And I don't think he wants the kit. It looked like he didn't want to save the op. He wanted to go for this 3v1, 2v1 right now. He doesn't have a lot of room to breathe. Flashbang goes out. He still gets a flashbang kill with that op before being taken down. Still, round falls in favor of Team ESCA. Amazing performance by the Prodigies, but just shy of taking home the round.
Yeah, no, I guess that's been the story for, well, a whole lot of the rounds that we have seen so far on Anubis, and to a larger extent, a majority of the rounds that we have seen in these last 2 play days as well. The Prodigies have so many astounding individual moments of absolute brilliance at times, but in the larger scale of things, those never directly translate to a W.
No, they don't. Now Bashmi opens up a wide angle here on the entry to the site. Gets smoked out immediately, and he loses track of anyone. So Team ESCA decide to, you know, maybe it's not the right move to try to force an entry here on site. So we'll have to go around, or maybe force some utility out of the Prodigies before moving in on round 8. Because right now the Prodigies, they're only holding on with 1 smoke to play, 1 or 2 in this case, 2 incendiary grenades, 1 in Kree and 1 in Kane. Shield opens it up nicely on Flay, out-opping his opponent.
Yeah, he will be forced out with flames at his feet. I also do want to point out the fact that FNK's took quite the beating.
Oh, that was...
But there's Klemeska. That's an absolutely massive frag coming on through to shut down Shield. Takes control of upper mid and camera, but just narrowly rethinks about going for that swing. Tempting fate right there.
Watch me still holding the wide angle, completely wide open, and no one on the Prodigies is here to punish him. 30 HP left. He should be able to wide swing this, or actually he just peeks him out on the shoulder.
Yeah, good job. And in the 3v3 right now, Team ESCA have got 30 seconds left to play with, and they've got to actually get a move on. Ooh, one player does get cleaned up. That is Klemeska, and I think it's all down to Master right now, as Bajmi, I think, might have just exited the server a couple of seconds ago. So Master now in the 1v3, caught between a rock and a hard place, and he will get shut down. Prodigies take away round number 2. Following a player leaving the server, so that does mean I think we might have a slight little tech pause to get that player back in.
I think he might be
that
back.
could have also just been resolved.
Yeah, I wanted to point out the little play on the upper side. Shield was very, very ambitious on that opping through the bridge, where he wide swung right on top of the flames, maybe trying to catch Team ESCA off guard, but he either would have taken a pick and immediately died afterwards, or he would just have died completely, which was what happened. Ambitious play from Shield could have turned out to be a highlight reel play. Ultimately, it ended in his demise.
Masher with the COD gun, scoping down, finds FNK. Shield, well, doing what Shield does best. He already finds Exist, and he ceases to exist.
Existence.
I ponder my own existence all the time.
So do I. Play made Keen question his existence as well as he takes him down with the op. Magister not looking too good with 31 HP. Bajmi goes and finds Shield looking the wrong angle.
That's a gut-wrenching moment as Patrick just gets obliterated, and Kree walking through the smoke looking for potentially a pot of gold on the opposite side. I have no clue, but found a fistful of lead instead.
I mean, Team ESCA are just most of the time, if they can't find an entry, they're just going to hold angles. This is the second or third time we see Shield actually get an op pick right off from behind the pillar. Team ESCA are still getting caught off in his unpredictability, but at the same time, they're just holding entries and smoke points. The Prodigies are getting very telegraphed or being very predictable on the way that they move around.
For no reason as well. Oof.
Yeah.
That's a 1 tap and a half.
SG doing a good job. Bajmi gets wide swung by Keen and gets taken down. Magister now holding the angle, sprays down, but it's Patrick who takes his head with a deagle.
Yeah, Prince Stream putting in a little bit of work, and FNK ooh, just holding the crosshair at the right moment, spamming away, but now with 1 bullet left in the chamber, only has 1 shot, 1 opportunity, and Exist is going to absolutely mow them down. A 3-piece to conclude round number 10 is exactly what ESCA would have wanted right there.
Yep, it's 8-2. It's looking really good on the T side here for Team ESCA. The Prodigy's not finding a lot of success here on the CT side, but we have a full buy round. Let's see if we change some things around because we're playing with 3 diffuse kits, so we have a good window to really disengage from the bomb side and try to retake it. Ooh, shield. Oof. Oh no. Okay.
Inches away. Inches away. Well, let's go ahead and shut up, because we want to tune into the Prodigies. They've got something to say.
He mollied con.
Call it.
Wait, after the melee.
The blade 1 is close for sure.
He took con.
It's holding the flash.
Go.
They took it or what?
Yes, I said he took the con.
Don't see him, could be in the
We need
smoke.
to retake it. I will smoke main.
Probably in the smoke, yeah.
1B main.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm on mid.
Window.
Flashing.
Molly right there.
I flashed.
I missed the molly.
Can we try to re-aggress A?
Wait, clear.
Wait. Re-aggress me.
Dead.
Con clear.
One more
I
A.
flashed deep. Okay.
2A, 1 more A with bomb.
One more A.
Can be camera.
I hold the
I don't see
camera.
him.
2 camera.
2 camera, 1 A lobby.
Camera, 1 more.
Up is A lobby.
I'm
See
behind
out
up.
camera? Yeah, out camera.
Yeah.
1 is
I'm
side
flanking main.
and out camera.
Yeah, I'm walking main. Close orange one.
Something camera.
Up there,
dead.
last close orange. I'm holding him.
You're smoked, King?
Yeah. It will fade soon. Fading now.
He's close to
Close
orange.
orange.
Right? I'm still smoked. Fading soon. Nice.
Nice.
Nice, boys.
And this round was a textbook reason why this map is so technical. You saw the way that Patrick was basically pinched in on the site. He went from the bridge, had 2 players in front of him, had to turn around to face 2 other players, like right here. But then all of a sudden, the tables turned, and Prodigies were actually able to retake the site, and you saw how desperate Bajmi was on these last few moments to try to cover all the angles that the Prodigies could be coming out of.
Yeah, and speaking of Bajmi, he's got 15 kills to his name, which translates to about half of the kills that Prodigies have been able to actually scrounge up thus far collectively. It is ridiculous. They've got 31 kills to their name, the Prodigies, so far, and Bajmi already half of that. But it's time for FNK and Kree to start farming directly outside of B. The USP will just smack them down, sent them packaged and posted.
That was a round and a half, and now we have 2 ops to play. I do believe we have 2 ops to play with, right? We picked up our... Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It's going to be Keen and Shield holding on to these ops after a very forced entry from Team ESCA that someone should give them the call. All right, we've already lost like too many members. Nobody's smoking the entries, maybe, or nobody's smoking the angles in this case. Maybe we should just back off and cut our losses, but no. They forced Team ESCA basically forced themselves into a forced buy or a half buy round at that in this round 13.
I do love the dual op setup coming on through from the Prodigies. I mean, the last time that I saw them play on Anubis, it was last season as well. Every single time that they employed this dual op setup on the CT side, they just outright won the round. It has as close to a 100% win rate as you could come near. It is just ridiculous how great this works on Anubis in particular, when a dual op setup might not be as successful on other maps.
No, not at all. And so this dual op success is actually being verified here, as you said. So only 2 members left. I guess it was a half buy nonetheless, but still, it is 2 members left alive from Team ESCA. Probably going to concede the round here to the Prodigies, dropping it to 8 and 5. So the more rounds we can still collect in this half, we're not going to win the half by any means, but the more rounds we can collect until we reach the 15 rounds, it's going to make it so much easier when we head over to the T side on Anubis. So double out working perfectly. Kree gets the information, throws down a molly, and pulls back into the site.
Yeah, Shadow is actually revealing a lot right there. Knows exactly when Kree is supposed to hold down on Mouse 1. Something that Bashmi and co couldn't quite account for towards the very end. And with 2 more rounds left in this half, yeah, ESCA, they don't exactly have the money to warrant a proper buy here. I mean, they could definitely invest out on a couple of Galils. And I guess Exist would be the only player that could actually bring a Tech 9 or even a Mac 10 back into this, but things are shaping up really, really well for the Prodigies to just hit 7 by the end of the 15s.
Actually, interesting way to close out the half. Honestly, it looked like Team ESCA were dominating the rounds that they won. They looked pretty dominant in the strategy, but these last rounds, it feels like they kind of fell apart. Either that, or the Prodigies just managed to finally figure out the playstyle the Team ESCA are bringing to the table and countering it perfectly. Shield misses his first shot on the pillar, but doesn't miss the second one.
Nope. FNK deep inside of enemy territory does get away with 1, drawing first blood, but Klemeska is immediately going to trade that back. Does find an AK in the middle of all the chaos, and now Keen redirecting his attention over towards B. It has been completely compromised, and as the bomb goes down, we have a retake on our hands.
We do. Keen's holding in the angle with the op. Gets a headshot on Flay. Someone called a dentist.
Ooh, damn. The dentist, an ambulance, and potentially even a coroner for that one. He is just digging 6-foot graves for all of Team ESCA.
And now Klemeska right around the outside, the last member from the team to fall. The Prodigy secure their 6th round on the CT side, and it is looking amazing for the last round of the half after forced buy from Team ESCA.
You know, I'm gonna just ruin your mental ever so slightly right now.
Ruin me.
So take a look at Klemeska's name in the kill feed right here. It says ESCA Klemeska.
ESCA Klemeska. I'm not gonna say that. It's just Klemeska now. Always has been. Full
ESCA Klemeska.
Okay, full AK buy from Team ESCA. Not a lot of grenades, but they do go for the not even full helmets.
Ooh.
Well, that's an attempted boost through the over the smoke that the Prodigies have actually suffered with last season.
Yeah.
And I guess they've learned absolutely from it, because you saw where Shield was aiming that crosshair at.
He was ready for it,
He
bro.
was.
Otherwise, why would you be staring with your crosshair that high up? But Mr. ESCA Klemeska, he does come back with 1, and so does Exist. Shutting down FNK now opens up this middle section of the map wide, and Kree has dug himself in so deep, but didn't know that Klemeska was just that much deeper in.
Well, it's only 3 players left. Only Bajmi is full HP. Patrick doesn't have the information that they don't have full Kevlar and helmet, so he's just going to do some guesswork here as he's going to retake the round. Jumps in through the smoke, and Flay is waiting for him on the other side. Halfway mark, it's 9 and 6. 2-door.
All things considered, this was more or less the expected result that we were looking for in this opening half, but it did start off very, very rough for the Prodigies. At a certain point, they were down 6 rounds at a 2-8 scoreline, but they were able to bring it back with 4 rounds in a row, bringing it all the way up to 6. And now we have potentially another more 15 rounds to play. We're going to cut to a short little break, but when we are back, they're going to swap over to the favorable side, the T side. See you in a bit.
Handle it. wanna package this. Pray for peace, pacifist. I'm never old enough to give a fuck.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. In case if you guys are just tuning in, then you have missed out on quite the opening map, or the opening half, I should say, to celebrate the new collection of the Anubis skins, rightfully on Anubis as well. 6-9 is your current scoreline right now, and the Prodigies, they did manage to string together a couple of rounds and a pretty hefty win streak on the CT side, but now stuff's gonna get real. They go over to the offensive, which is the much more comfortable and preferred side for Anubis. I'm excited for this one.
I am. Supposedly, it is the most comfortable side here for teams to play on the offensive. Have a lot more entry points. We've already talked about it, a lot more angles. As a CT, you have a lot more angles that you have to cover, and not all the teams are like you. It's not a good option to like stack the whole team on a single point. So
Yeah.
I do believe that we have a solid chance here to retake the scoreboard. I don't think there was a point in time that we were ever leading this game, but 6-9 is a very fragile lead here for Team ESCA, who are now going to be on the defense here. Now, we've also noticed that on the stats that T side also usually loses out on the pistol rounds 49%, or only wins the T side only wins pistol rounds 49% of the time on Anubis, which is closer. It's borderline 50-50. You know, it's borderline 50-50.
Yeah, no.
So I guess you could say it could go both ways. But let's see, because we have a full entry here onto the side. Keen plants it through the smoke. Doesn't care.
No, I mean, that is what you should be doing on Anubis. Throw caution to the wind, because you've got a default plant spot behind so much cover that it basically considers itself free to get that bomb down. And now all of the Prodigies, they have vacated the premises. They are back over towards B long, and they're just letting Team ESCA play their own ball game. But Master gets away with not one but two frags with the USP shield. Now it's to channel in his, well, he has to channel his inner Lara Croft to find one kill, but just the one, sadly enough. Master goes absolutely galactic with the USP right there, a three-piece towards the very end.
I did not see how that double kill happened, but golly, it was a 3v2. We had the bomb planted perfectly for the outside, and we had two players there on the around the outside to try and defend the site. It was looking good until all of a sudden Team ESCA managed to get a miracle 2K out of this one. It was a 180. Master gets someone from the tunnels, turns around to secure shield as well. So incredibly played here by Team ESCA to open up the pistol round, but we got a plant, so we absolutely have a solid buy here for the second round of the half.
Keen doesn't even give a hoot about that Molotov, charges straight through it, but the flashbang is going to be the primary deterrent for Team ESCA to just quickly catch their breath before the inevitable hit eventually comes through. Let's go ahead and tune in to the Prodigy, see what they have to say.
Yeah, maybe in mid.
Yeah, we should use the goat flash on mid.
I smoke mid.
Don't say mid. You can walk.
I can give you my smoke here, Keen. Oh, you have one.
I have.
Shit, I drop in my smoke for jungle smoke. I staying in front of B.
Go.
I pick him here.
I'll
He's
leave
not
you
here.
Push the A1, push the A1.
We'll let the god flash.
That I
Nice.
push.
Smoke.
Bitch.
I'll do an FA.
I smoke.
They flash in front of B.
That is mid
But no
there.
one
more,
Tomorrow,
one more push.
tomorrow we should split A. You should split B.
He was right side shield, I think, already.
Finish.
Jungle.
One.
Come jungle. He
One
reloads.
on B,
One
yeah?
jungle, one B.
I don't see temple.
Two jungle.
Be
Be
split.
clear.
B should be clear.
Be clear. One temple, one city. Temple and city.
I'll flash CT.
Temple.
Temple now.
Temple and city.
Temple low.
Temple there.
CT, oh.
It's already close.
Out CT. Dead.
Bit of a miscommunication there, as everybody was giving a different kind of call. This is what also, I guess, this is, you could argue that this is what happens when you have such an intrinsic map. You know, like Everybody has a different reasoning for what's about to happen during the game, and FNK not only loses the save, but also loses the bonus cash for this round. He's working with 350 cash.
It's a little bit rough for the Prodigies right there. Not only do they not get away with the pistol round, but they don't actually get the bonus round either. Team ESCA, they've extended that gap all the way to 5, but they also played that round pretty brilliantly. I mean, the initial mid setup that they had over towards jungle, they smoked off that angle and had Master purposely pre-fire through it and just dump his mag. Then you actually saw, I believe it was Keen, wanted to go and hunt him down, and then came into another player's crossfire. Like, Team ESCA had such really great setups right there. And I feel that pain as well. Master just lit the hell out of the Prodigies, and now he's going to start getting run down. But the A1S, it's still keeping things neat and tidy. Bajmi going to rejoin in on the fun, but Keen doesn't live long enough to see the light of day, nor get that bomb plant down. A throwaway of a round for the Prodigies.
Absolutely. I was going to say, that it was 100% a throwaway round. There was no way that... After eating that spray through the smoke and dropping like 3 of our players down to like 50 HP, there was no way we were gonna expect to win that round. But we persevered, tried to make it through. We cut down Magister in the process, but it didn't affect the overall economy for Team ESCA. They're still relatively healthy and can go for another round if they need. So 12 and 6, this should be the round because this is our first full buy here that we have access to. Bar FNK, who lost a bonus for dying post-timer. Let's see if we can actually collect a gun here for FNK as we move towards, or at least try to get some information out of Team ESCA as we push through.
Oh,
Big
this
smoke.
is rough.
Oh, no.
Oh, I was constantly thinking to myself, like, Bajmi and Master were just overstaying their welcome over there towards B long. They were needlessly searching for contact with the Prodigies, but they just weren't being punished. That is rough to let slip by, and Klemeska is also going to shut down Keen on top of that, so this buy round has gone absolutely abhorrent for the Prodigies. It's all down to shield, and he can't even get away with one. It's flawless for the CT side as they find 4 rounds in a row.
Absolutely flawless, but I guess you could argue we saw something similar on the first half of the game. Comms are falling apart here. We saw it on the beginning of the second half. Teams were that's why we have technical pause right now, a tactical pause, so that we can take a breather, rethink our strategy. Okay, how are we going to approach this this side of the map? Because Team ESCA have already won 4 rounds in a row, and we're reaching a rough point in our game. But I guess we could argue that we saw something similar in the first half, where Team ESCA actually scored a lot of rounds consecutively, and then we came back big on that first half.
Yeah,
the same can happen here on the T side.
It very well could happen, but I mean, Team ESCA, they've been fairly unpredictable when it comes to just how these first 4 rounds of play have actually gone through. I mean, they were fairly timid at the start of the pistol round, and now we're seeing the complete opposite of the spectrum with them purposefully pushing that B long side. It has been an absolute roller coaster for the Prodigies to try to feel them out, but one thing that they have yet to actually feel out is that A-bomb site. The Prodigies haven't really even set foot inside of there once over the course of these 4 rounds. So if something's going to change, it might just be not opting to consistently try and hit B anymore, but with everyone stacked outside of it, yeah, we're going to have a similar situation, and Klemeska drops down Assassin's Creed style to find Keen.
Absolutely. Gets the, doesn't get the backstab, but he absolutely gets the gun down. So we once again start to invest, or at least we're not fully investing on B side, but we're poking the nest. FNK is the one left behind, doesn't even get shut off a Magister. As the rest of the Prodigies have already circled around over to A site. Talking about it, they heard us. Now they're going to try to go for it. They have the entrance covered. They predicted this rotation, predicted the entry and existence the rest of the Prodigy squad with an amazing 3 headshot kill here to finish the round.
Don't poke the beehive, you will be stunned. Don't overstay your welcome in the lion's den, you will be chewed up and spit out. There are probably many more metaphors to describe exactly what has happened in that last round, but it's still not going to rectify the situation. In that anti-eco round, it would have been tough for the Prodigies to get away with anything, but now we've got an AWP back inside of the hands of Shield, and what is required is a flawless game of Counter-Strike, because if Team S could get away with 1 round, that's map point already locked in.
Let's see. Running off solid Patrick at 2 HP.
Oh my.
The grenade takes down Patrick, and Klemeska cleans out Keen. Only one member from Team ESCA dropped down from this, and from behind we do have Klemeska lurking in on the Prodigies. Inching closer and closer and cutting off their exit. Takes down Shield, and only Kree is left alive. Tell the tale. 1v4, can he pull it off?
I don't know. Even if Klemeska wasn't there on the flank, at a certain point, the Prodigies would have had to, you know, go back and recover the bomb because it was outside of B long, and none of the engagements physically on the B side even went in their way. So many messy sprays coming out from both parties, genuinely, but the Prodigies just unable to tame those AKs, and it really cost them. Now it's all down to Kree, who, before he can even pull the trigger on that AK, just gets absolutely decapitated. So ESCA, they sit on map point for this best of one blowout. The Prodigy is likely going to call out another timeout to see if they can muster up the strength to win 9 rounds in a row.
Honestly, I full-heartedly believe in overtime. We saw it in the first game of the season, and I absolutely believe we can see it in the third game as well.
I mean,
16-6.
on
It's a
Inferno,
long road for overtime.
It is, but on Inferno, we were just like 15-13 behind. The gap wasn't that big. Winning 2 rounds, fairly doable, but trying to, I mean, win 9 rounds is a challenge in and of itself. We have to worry about actually getting the first T round, which we haven't been able to get done in the opening 6, which is where I start to worry.
It's actually been relatively difficult to actually get a kill for that, or basically get a kill for that matter on the T round. I think the max we got was 4 kills in 1 round. Otherwise, we've only been getting like 1 kill or 2 per round. So not a good look for T side here on the Prodigies. Maybe not a good day, but let's see if they can turn this around. FNK already at 63 HP, and they're poking the nest here for Team ESCA and trying to figure out how they're going to play what could be the last round of this map.
Yeah. Master already deep inside of water, and he is going to be punished for his crimes. Not exactly fun to loiter about. It is punishable in some countries, and Keen, well, he's the sheriff in these here towns. Bajmi does get a trade. Kree will be felled, and now shield over towards mid. FNK, he doesn't know what's on the opposite side of that wall. Klemeska reveals himself and still gets away with the frag.
Big white swing. Shield takes down Klemeska. Trades a 1-for-1, drops the counter to 3v3 here. Team ESCA has 1 minute to play with. The Prodigies need to plant the bomb. It's on the hands of Patrick. They can muster up their numbers to get an attack going because they only have 45 seconds as of now.
Yeah. Still more than enough time to go through your options and see exactly what is most fitting, what is most appropriate for this situation. But they seem very, very indecisive about it. Now is the perfect time that I would have actually loved to listen into the comms, but we don't have that luxury, sadly enough. 25 seconds. Smokes are going to start getting lined up. It's time to hit that big button. You've got to go.
15 seconds to work with. Rifle in a few dreams. Flay drops down from behind from water. We have to have heard him, and Shield does take him down. 8 seconds for a takedown. We need to take down Exist or plant the bomb, and we manage to secure a plant. Exist evacuates the bomb site as far as he can. He has an AK in hand, but this could be the start of a win streak for the Prodigies.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. Exist, he has all to play for right now and absolutely not a damn thing to lose. He's got a kit, he's got a flash of smoke, and a high caliber AK-47 to potentially go for a clutch, but he's just going to wait around and bait a couple of exits should the Prodigies even hand them to him. And he realizes that, yep, no one's coming my way, and there's no time to close off that gap and go for a ninja either. But the Prodigies finally, after 8 rounds of play, get their first on the T side.
Could be the start of something big here, but the thing is, ESCA is just economically too far ahead for that 1 round to have made a dent or hindered their ability to defend. Looking at their inventories, they only Club Meska, or even okay, he bought it a little bit later, but everybody has access to a defuse kit. They're all working with 5k plus at the start of the round. Not to mention 10k plus, but still 5k plus at the start of the round. So they're more than fine.
They can comfortably buy for the next 2 rounds without a hitch.
Yes, they can. The thing is, these prolonged rounds for the Prodigies, they're very exhausting for them to play, you know, because it takes a lot of mind power and mental fortitude to keep them with a positive mindset. Magister opens up the round, but Kree immediately trades Exist for it.
The flash on that opening engagement wasn't timed all too well. Let's go ahead and hear what the Prodigies have to say if they can keep this alive.
They mollied Diha.
He's
play
window
heavy
spamming.
mid, guys. We'll play heavy mid. We'll go 3 guys
He's
mid.
gonna leave mid
I'm
after
gonna go.
this. I'm fading this one.
I'm coming.
I do jungle smoke.
Don't see door.
Besides split A. Will you do God flash?
Yes.
Pick from right side with flash.
Flashing now.
You zoomed?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I can
Flash
flash in
one
front of
camera, one
camera for
jungle.
you.
Yeah, flash.
Wait, flash now. Boom.
Should we
One
peel it?
jungle.
Jungle.
Should we main? Should
Close
we
main, close main, close main. Dead
One
main.
One more.
Nice.
Should we? Care, one more.
Planting.
Don't see?
I don't see man.
Heaven one. I
have
have
Go
Camera.
Jubby, go Jubby. FNK, I got camera.
I have man.
Heaven.
Heaven.
one coming camera.
Camera.
One camera.
I'm holding
Main
camera.
is clear.
Probably heaven.
Heaven.
Heaven hit
I'm playing
one.
on time.
Brick.
Yeah.
It's not planted for you, Kree.
Okay.
Nice.
AVP main. AVP
I have it,
main.
I have it.
Nice, Mikhail. Good job.
Thank you.
Oh my. I said I believed in the beginning of something great, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this round, if the first round didn't make a dent in their economy, this one absolutely did. And I believe the Prodigies have found their flow. Team ESCA are on their last full buy.
For the foreseeable future, they definitely are right now. Shield with the AWP is going to have a massive stare down. Ooh, spots out the elbow. Ooh. And as he contemplated pulling the trigger, oh, they just narrowly slip away. That one, that's an unscratchable itch that is going to definitely piss off Shield for a little bit, but FNK is going to quickly rectify the situation as he draws first blood. And there's Kree spamming Master down through the smoke as well. Oof.
Man, that butterflies in his stomach as he sees the elbow but decides to not pull the trigger. That has to, you know, has to have an effect. We're hungry for more. We already took 2 rounds and we're closing in to take the 3rd one. Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of people. Exist gets taken down, but he trades off Kree.
That could have been so much worse.
That could have been
honestly.
so much worse if that was an AK. I thought the recoil pattern for him was the AK. We're trying to fish them out of the back of their spawn. Bajmi is the last man standing with an M4 and full inventory of grenades to work with.
Ooh, don't tempt it. Don't give Bajmi what he's looking for. He's gonna get lit up and eventually he is gonna get felled. Shield. Yeah, the judge. In that instance, closing things off. That is 3 rounds in a row. A hat trick for the Prodigies.
And, well, I mean, it's a hat trick for the Prodigies. And the first round where Team ESCA were actually struggling economically. Now they have a decision to make. Do they want to go for a forced buy or do they want to save? They go for a half buy. It's a half buy, actually.
No, they are one.
They force the op. Yeah. Man has no cash to his name, no grenade, but forces the op regardless.
This is one of the ballsiest things I've ever seen in my entire life, and he's dead. The op falls, and it will be recovered by Flay on top of that, so it still remains a factor that Prodigies have to work into the equation. Kree is getting harassed downtown through main, and Exist will pick him up with the P250, but at the very least, they keep that AK out of ESCA's hands.
Yes, they do, but the damage has been made. Exist has Kevlar, sure, but he only has a Deagle to play with. He can't push out to try to collect that op. And Flay gets taken down as well. That's the opper down for good because there's no way that Team ESCA are going to be able to pick that one up, and it's only down to Exist. The Prodigy have full information on the whereabouts of the last member, or unless they don't,
Oh no.
playing through the smoke. Ooh. All right, can I open my eyes now?
Yeah, you can. We're
Okay.
safe. We're safe.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that got my heart all jittery, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if I suddenly went into cardiac arrest and I don't have one of those health and safety bracelets around me.
Oh boy, that was a close round, but one that Prodigy still took. But the 4 members of the Prodigies that dropped dead were enough to buy Team ESCA into somewhat of a healthy buy here.
Yeah, 2 ops in a row, one during a full buy and the previous in a very broken situation. This could still be scary. Shield pixels away. Oh, that's what you want to see, Shield.
What are he's saying?
Yeah, what are they saying?
I check
Okay.
big push.
I'm walking mid already.
Do 60 points of
Coming.
contact. 60 points of contact.
Can be.
Wait, okay.
Yep, coming.
You have molly?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm molly now.
Yeah, and you have
Call the
flash?
flash.
Do it.
Flashed.
Shoot.
They smoked
They
B main.
smoked in front of B.
I watch left, watch right.
Push lane. Dead.
Nice.
That's anchor.
Be anchor alive and off. I don't know.
That's one.
Be
Let's go
anchor, be anchor dead.
Aim Dead.
Let's
Watch out,
Wait,
con.
chill.
Last is con player, watch out, con.
Big float.
I'm going towards A.
Painful. Nice.
Nice.
What is going on? We're taking this game by storm, and 5 rounds in a row have been bagged. Team ESCA's economy is in shambles.
Yeah. Such a gorgeous entry coming out from Shield right there, and he doubles it down to close things off towards the very end. The Prodigies hit 11. It is starting to get real sweaty right about now, but the threat still looms. ESCA, they can continuously just buy upgraded pistols to their heart's content before they decide to bring out those rifles eventually, and this is a bit of a different approach. A rush down water is going to be met with swift resistance. Shield strikes down 1.
It is looking super good, and it almost feels like Team ESCA are starting to get a little bit desperate on their playstyle. They're all over the map. They're trying to get sneaky picks, but it is absolutely not working for them, and we're starting to kind of wipe the floor with them as they drop out one by one. Like, our entry flashes are amazing. Our follow-ups are even better. And overall, there's been an almost complete 180 on the Prodigies' playstyle, in the sense that we're no longer looking for B entries. We're done with that. We're now being a little bit more tactical, a little bit more surgical on how we try to approach the map, and it's working wonders for us.
Yeah. All it took was a little bit of conversion towards the A bomb site executors club, but Bajmi with the CZ goes for a swing and somehow lines up a little bit of 9mm, connects with the head of Keen. Yeah, they do be burning a little bit, but now that the Prodigies know where the primary threat is, they are not even going to choose to screw about with it. Back to B we go, and it's a free plant.
It's a free plant, right to Patrick. Patrick's controlling the outside of the B side. That's a great angle, and the bomb is planted towards him, so if Team ESCA decides to rotate around the outside, they don't have enough weapons, then they just lost themselves a Deagle. Bajmi has Kevlar, and he has an AK. He could be the biggest opposing threat, and he's downside river. FNK takes him down. It's up to Flay.
No kit, just the Deagle, still pretty healthy on HP, but he's looking for weapons right now.
He is.
And I don't think he's going to get them. Look how close Patrick is coming on through, and Shield is right behind him on top of that. There's the swing. Ooh! Lovely shot coming on through. Shield!
No.
Oh, no. This has actually gone horribly wrong.
Man's not
An
looking
AK?
for weapons. He was looking for frags, and he spots the op, and he picks it up for his team.
He got both. He got frags and an op? What more could you ask for?
I mean, he just gave an. I mean, he took the op. He's the opera of the team. He's a designated opera for the team. So now, Team ESCA have very healthy buy. The Prodigies, unfortunately, after that mishap on the defense of the bomb site, had to concede way too many numbers. So they were going to waste a little bit of money into this round, but we're still good on the economy.
I mean, that entire play towards the dying seconds of the last round could have massive repercussions, because if it wasn't for that fallen op, Flay would have been holding onto a rifle right now. This could very well be the defining factor. Shield.
I love it. I love the boost pick here over the bridge to try to get someone off guard, but Team ESCA have grown out of trying to out-peak Shield. Just pull back inside the sites. Prodigy is looking for information, but they can't really find anything for the time being.
Nothing's really being offered up to them except for Klemeska. Teasing that camera part of the map just a little bit and forced off courtesy of that molly. FNK trying to bombard him down with nades and only chips away 5 damage from his health pool.
But at least they have some information of where one of the members of Team ESCA are sitting. Wait, is bomb site B only being defended by Magister?
Yep.
Am I seeing that right?
You very much are.
So if we take down Magister, it's a free site.
Well, Bajmi has rejoined in on the fun, and now the rotate is starting to come on through. It could potentially be baited. Look at the mini-map. All of those blue silhouettes are just back all the way down to B as FNK draws first blood. Klemeska does retort. Master keeping things neat and tidy as well. Sprays down Patrick as Shield will claw back with 1.
Oh.
Doesn't line up.
Swing and a miss. And gets taken down.
That hurts. That hurts so much as the bomb goes down. It's a 1v3 that Kree can't whip together. And there you have it. That is ESCA locking things out. They couldn't quite get it done as fast as they would have wanted to, but them starting off their own CT side with 6 rounds in a row just proved to be too much to come back from.
Way too much. It's an unfortunate turn of events, really. I mean, if only we would have secured one of those initial rounds on C side, we would have a little bit more room to breathe. Unfortunately, Team ESCA managed to chain so many rounds together that when we actually found our flow,
we didn't get to experience it for that long.
Exactly, because like we never had a chance. Like, okay, we're fine. We're still in the game. We're still fine. But we never got a really good chance to live out that flow. Because we were always on a do or die scenario from there on out. It was possible. It was 100% possible to secure the game still, but unfortunately, with only one round to play with, not even that, we only had we were on the death's door there. I mean, one round to play with was just not enough to secure a T side, because you would eventually have to deal with full buys and you had to readjust your strategy. It wasn't quite enough, and props to Team ESCA. They were just better, I guess, on the CT side here.
Yeah, and I mean the funny thing about it is actually Team ESCA, they only picked up a total of 7 rounds altogether, which is just 1 more than what we picked up on our own CT side. But the difference was they got it done just that much quicker, finding 6 rounds consistently and consecutively towards the very, very start. I mean, at the end of the day, they picked up their first pistol round with a bomb plant that also came down. The Prodigies very well could have also picked up that bonus round immediately afterwards and then just put us back into like a 10-7 score line or a 10-8, something like that. But it unfortunately didn't pan out. But either way, as this pointing at things might have actually been this evening, we are still going to get a little bit of extra information on tonight's game as we have FNK joining us for an interview.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and get him in. Salut, buonasera, FNK. Unfortunately, you guys couldn't quite get the W here this evening on Anubis, and I know it's not the best way to have celebrated the new Anubis collection also getting launched earlier this evening, or earlier today, I think it was. But go ahead and talk me through exactly what happened on the T side, because we know for a fact that the T side, it is the most favorable side on Anubis since it was introduced into the competitive pool, but it just didn't quite click tonight.
To be honest, I think it was more about the city side. We should have won a lot more rounds. Like, we lost both pistols, city and T. And then when we managed to win some rounds on city side, we got destroyed on semi-buy. Like, we had a game plan, but it felt like we were kind of sleepy in the beginning of the game. And it took us too long to come back in the game. And like, I think 6 rounds are not that enough without even the T pistol. Like, if you get only 6 rounds and you even lose the pistol on second half, it's very hard after.
Yeah, understandable. I mean, but we did see, like, once you went on the flow, once you started getting rounds, you chained a lot of rounds together. was there a point where you felt like maybe it was like it was just way too hard to break their streak of rounds, and you just had to get the mental reset going? Or did you feel like the rounds, because like we saw a lot of rounds on the CT side, like you said, you were winning a lot of rounds and a lot of rounds were close. Did you feel like those rounds were like just difficult to break apart?
I don't think they were difficult. The fact that we lost a pistol and we forced after, and we lost
Yeah.
that force buy, we had to eco, and then on the first actual buy round, we didn't have a lot of utility and also not op, so that affected us. And then when we lost that one as well, we managed to buy finally with op and full nades, and we could work things out like according to the plan.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is also something that I did also recall seeing in the last time you guys played Anubis in the previous season 44, that whenever you guys actually do get the dual op setup going on the CT side, you guys are basically unstoppable, and you guys also showed that to us in the 4-round win streak that you also had towards the end of the first half. The moment that you've got both Shield and Kree on the AWP, you guys are completely unstoppable, and that there's very, very little to nothing that the opposition can actually do in actually clawing that and combating that. So given the success that you guys have actually seen in the dual ops setup, would there be a consideration to purposefully saving just a little bit more at the early stages in future Anubis games so you can actually get those 2 AWPs out as early as possible? Or is that not really part of the game plan?
We will see. Maybe we'll even get the third off.
Oh, really? Okay.
3 oh my god, the 5 ops setup. I love it.
Screw all
Do
of
it.
that. Just bring
Screw
out
it.
the Scar 20s, honestly,
Yes,
at this point.
since
Do
there's
it.
no really meta right now on Anubis, we will create the meta with 3 ops and
I
people
like
will
it.
copy
I
us.
like it. That's how it should be. The Prodigies writing history as it is actually going down. Well, shoot, that funny way to line things up. Yeah, no, the last question that I do have to pose to you, FNK, and this has been sort of like not necessarily just a running gaff between me and AC, but over the last couple of games, including some from last season, we have noticed that you guys have struggled with a couple of anti-eco rounds. We saw that in the opening game of Inferno the other week. We saw that previously as well on Mirage, and if I can draw your mind all the way back to what I believe it was round number 3, as you mentioned a little bit earlier after the bonus round, you guys had a full buy and you were up against 2 AKs and about 3 Tech 9s, if I remember. Just like 2 random hero AKs that were brought out by your opposition this evening. And somehow, yet again, the trend continues. Anti-ecos are just not fun for you guys.
Yeah, that was my point. So like we had a plan for that, but I felt like we were sleeping and we didn't realize what we have to do in that round. Like we knew they have shit by, and we had a plan or what they are gonna do, but I don't know, just
Didn't
it
click.
didn't go well.
Didn't click quick enough.
All right, my
Yeah, we
last
didn't
question,
do what
I
we
guess.
have to do.
Yeah.
That's all right. My last question I have for you, because like we already had 2 games this season, and on both games you were considered the MVP here for the Prodigies. Third game, actually I don't know if I don't have the information if you were or were not the MVP, but so far you seem to be the player to watch here. Do you feel like you're performing better this season than the others, and will this performance still? Because we did see some pretty neat plays here on Anubis, regardless. He was the MVP. Yes, that's what I said. Production. Thank you. But regardless, like, do you feel like you're performing better, and will this performance be seen throughout the season?
I think yeah, I'm performing better because since last season we've changed some positions, and now I'm in more map control positions, both on city and on T side, and I can call a lot more as well, like to help Kin. We are like the both doing the calls most likely, like we are 2 voices, and since I'm like in the middle of the action as well, I can call a lot more and try to adapt on the enemies, and like I got my kind of main positions back considering to last season where I was not playing my main positions.
That's fair enough. It's been really, really great to also hear you guys in comms. It's been really awesome to see just how you're putting that voice to use. And the last thing that I'm going to have to ask you this evening is to once again put that voice to use. If there is anyone that you'd like to thank out there that might be out and about in any corner of the interwebs, or if you have any love to share with any of the viewers tuning in, now's your chance, homie.
Yeah, well, thanks everyone for watching. Sorry for this result, unfortunate, but 2-1, it's still a positive one, and we're gonna end the season well, and we're gonna go to playoff and even win it.
That's what I like to hear, and that's what everyone likes to hear. FNK, thank you so much once again for joining us for this little interview session. Unfortunately, things didn't go as well as you would have expected in this game, but obviously there are only bigger and better things to come in the rest of the regular season. Good luck to you, mult success, and we hope to see you bounce back in just the right way. Thanks again, mate.
See ya. Bye-bye.
You take care. Bye-bye. Always an absolute pleasure to speak, to sit down and speak with FNK. Always.
Yeah, you have some keywords that I have no idea what you're saying, but I'm sure you two understand each other perfectly.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I know you can. I know. I feel a bit. I feel like I feel I feel left out, but
yeah, should we go ahead and get Jerome on the horn and ask him to bring in some Portuguese talent so we can feel a little bit at home, maybe?
Yeah, get some Portuguese players going. I know a couple. I know a couple of few. You know, maybe no, but that's perfectly fine. You know, once it's because like there's 2 Portuguese teams on the ladder that I would like to see play against the Prodigies because there's a bit of a thing that I like to see the Prodigies win. But still, regardless, we also have an MVP here for you guys tonight, despite the fact that we were not victorious in this match. We still have to give praise to the best player on the board with a 69 nice ADR,
Nice.
18.4% headshot, and it is Shield, the MVP for the 3rd game of ESEA Advanced.
Dude, I feel like I'm back in season 44, even though that was just a couple of months ago. Remember how many times we would see Shield on the MVP screen just constantly delivering ridiculous performances on the likes of Overpass, on the likes of your Nukes, on your Mirages, on your Infernos as well, more often than not. He has been absolutely ripping and tearing his way through the previous season, and now finally seeing him on the MVP side for the first time right here in 45, well, that brings a nice little glimmer to my eye.
I know, for sure. But I mean, this MVP wouldn't have been possible with the rest of the squad backing up Shield throughout this match. So this is the final stats for both the teams. As you can see, Bajmi with an incredible 24 kill performance.
Yeah, he was nuts.
He
honestly.
was. Shield, the top performer of the Prodigies, as the resident opera. Kree right behind him alongside FNK. Still very, very incredible performance. Patrick and Keen as well. At the filling out 13 and 14 kills each. That's where the stats 16 and 12 was the final result, and Team ESCA coming out victorious. Much I guess due to the fact that, like FNK said it himself, they were kind of sleeping on the call, but I guess you could relate that to the fact that it's just a longer map overall, like a larger map, a lot more entries, and you have to be on top of your game in order to perform at the top level in such an intrinsic map, basically.
Yeah. And you have to do that every round, all the time, every time, basically. Still, though, I mean, when it comes to the Prodigy's overall experience with Anubis, that is something that is still, at least in my eyes, personally left to be determined, because I just don't know exactly how often they've been scrimming this map, practicing it, or playing it in any other official competitions outside of ESCA. I mean, in recent memory, they've played it once in the last season, and then this would bring it to a grand total of Anubis played twice in the last couple of months on ESEA.
I noted that down. Let me see.
Yeah.
I know I casted at least once.
I believe we cast... actually, I don't remember if we casted that game together or if I did that with Pinkman. I'm not exactly sure.
Gasp.
Yeah, I know.
No, I do believe I casted it once, but I don't know. I think they might have played it twice.
No, they played it. They played it once in the last season. February 28th, so very, very last day of the month. Yep. They played it versus the UK sort of other Prodigies roster, but they're known as the Drip Men, hilariously enough. And they won out that one convincingly 16-7.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I do recall.
Yeah,
that was almost exactly 2 months ago. End of April and end of February that game was played, so yeah.
Once every 2 months type celebration thing that we get to play Anubis?
Potentially, yeah, I guess. I wouldn't even really consider it a celebration. It's kind of just like playing Anubis for the sake of playing Anubis once every 2 months just to not get too rusty on it.
Yeah, no, for sure. At least on
Maybe.
stream, you know, so that we don't get rusty on Anubis as well, because
As
it's
well,
always
yeah,
a
no.
pleasure to see Anubis getting turning around.
I mean, and honestly, they probably played Anubis more for us than they did it for themselves, because at the end of the day, I still haven't even mastered my calls on this map.
No, same,
I have like so much more strats to learn, and if it wasn't for watching the Prodigies play on Anubis, I would be a complete oblivious newbie to the intricacies of this map.
Hey, dude, though, before production hits us over the head with a chair, we have to look at the calendar here to see exactly what has happened until now and what is to come here for the Prodigies. We've played against Taipon and Gentle Folk with incredible performances and victories on Inferno and Mirage. And next up, after Team ESCA, we have a game against Aurora, Juggernauts, Little Mix GG, and Justy.
Yep. It is going to be, well, obviously really, really great matches coming on up, and also we are just getting, well, this in from production from the people pushing the buttons behind the scenes. Juggernauts apparently are also known as Budapest 5. Not exactly sure if there's been an organization drop in that respect. Not exactly sure what has happened over there, but that is the former Budapest 5 roster that is going to be taking place exactly a week from today. So yeah, that unfortunately does kind of like also wrap up the festivities that we actually have for this entire week. We're gonna have to go for the next 6 days without any Prodigies Counter-Strike action until Monday.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I already missed them, honestly. But this is also good for the Prodigies themselves, because this gives them a little bit more time to breathe and really recap what has happened. You know, having enough time to review your games and make sure you're at the top of your game for the next few matches is always important. And I think that having games or a controlled amount of games per week is a good system to have for sure.
Yeah, definitely so. But as we mentioned, this is all that we actually have to offer you guys for this particular evening of Counter-Strike action. And we will be back on Monday, probably at about 6 p.m. CEST for the next best of one versus Aurora. To make sure that you guys stay up to date on all things surrounding the Prodigies, go ahead and drop a like, or I should say a follow on the stream. Click on that bell button so you get notified when our games go live, and also follow us on Twitter at Prodigies Agency GG to stay up to date on anything and everything surrounding the team. From myself, from AC, and the rest of the production crew, we'd like to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Razer, Secretlab, and Refrag, for making everything here possible. And we'll see you guys once again on Monday, the 1st of May, for the continuation of Season 45 of ESEA. Until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you guys all on the flip side. Bye-bye.
Up, they wanna package this. Pray for peace, pacifist. I'm never old enough to give a
We are Prodigy Agency. We represent and support the best esports players in the world. With our family spirit, we provide everything you need during difficult moments or epic ones. We work on every aspect of your journey, planning and managing your career to find the best teams toward one goal: victory. We negotiate your contracts and transfers. We find sponsors and commercial opportunities. We help you grow your own brand, cultivate your image, and developing your merch, social media, and content. We take care of your health and performances. And everything we do it for you. Your success is our goal. Prodigy Agency, players first.